Be happy. Be healthy. Be your best. Be your best.
So I'm really excited today to bring to you 2 new short scans that we can do that are going to be highly beneficial for your health. And the reason they're going to be highly beneficial is because they work on where a lot of the problems in the body start, and that is with stress and emotions. So the 2 programs that we're going to talk to you about, they can be done over the phone with our office. We are going to be using Zoom in order to accomplish these 2 programs for you. They are highly effective, and I'm going to explain why. The first one that we're going to talk about is inner voice. Inner voice was developed by a voice master in Spain, another one in Ohio, the combination of the 2, and then added things to it over the last number of years that have just made it a superb program. Here you see some voice frequency levels from somebody that was scanned. And so what happens is when you speak and we record your voice over the phone, your voice picks up what's going on in the vagus nerve that is behind the voice box. And that vagus nerve, it just vibrates like a guitar string. And so there are irregularities in it that the program is able to define as different emotions that are out of balance. And it's a wonderful program because once it finds the things that are out of balance in the voice, and all you have to do is speak for 10 seconds in order for the program to pick up 4 areas that the emotions are just out of balance. And when I'm talking to people, I explain it to them that what it's going to pick up and why it sends you tones to listen to that are covered up by pretty music is because it is going to work on the right and left side of the brain. It's going to work on the frontal cortex and for concentration and focus. And it's also going to work some on the primal brain. When my far side humor is getting me during different appointments with people, I just tell them what it does is it gets your roommates in your head to shut up a little bit. You know, when you're in the shower and you're thinking, oh, I should go shopping today. Oh, I got to pick up the food. No, I got to pick up the kids. Oh, that's right. We have time. No, we don't. Yes, we do. No, we don't. Well, maybe we could do this instead. You know what? Maybe we won't do any of it at all. And then you realize you've got 2 sides of an argument going on in there and you're listening to it. So I always joke around and say, especially when you're in the shower for some reason or about to go to sleep, there's at least 3 of you in there. Well, the inner voice program works with those different parts of the brain to calm it down and get it to where there is not the same emotional response that there always is to different situations in life that we encounter every day. It's something where when we scan you and we come up with those areas and those tones and the 4 areas that have music that covers up the tones, plus a 5th one that is just a tone. The reason 4 of them are covered up with music is if you think of it, if a program's going to send you tones like, it's not pleasant to listen to. So it's beautiful music with the tones running in the background. And then 1 tone therapy that is 2 minutes long. The whole thing is equal to about 10 minutes. And you have to listen to it with earbuds or stereo headphones because it is a binaural program. But it's very, very effective. You can use it in the morning to help with function, and you can use it at night and it helps you sleep. So here you see that after that person was scanned and the colors were showing things that were out of balance, here's the 4 areas that they came up for. They were somewhere in between rigid beliefs and open to possibility, and the note in their voice that was offset, and then somewhere between conditional love and unconditional love, and then somewhere between conflicting beliefs and congruent beliefs. And then the one that is the most suppressed, which actually is one that has been affecting them throughout their life more than the other 3, was that they're somewhere between angry and accepting change. So each of these has a tone to it. Each of these is covered by music. We email it to you and you listen to it with headphones, AM and PM. And it also comes through with the 1 additional tone that helps with the brain as well. Very, very valuable because when you feel emotions, the brain releases what's called neuropeptides that were discovered by Candace Pert a number of decades ago. She was the one that found the first opioid receptor site. And it became obvious that with emotions, that they would be released into the bloodstream and then attached to organs, glands, and systems, these peptides, and actually affect your body on a lot of different levels. So this is a very, very valuable program where you can call the office, set up an appointment, and over Zoom, we can record your voice and then send you by email the tones. Now we have a second one that goes even deeper, and this one's even more exciting. This one's called Mind Sync, okay? Mind Sync is where we have you call the office and you do inner voice first, and then if you want to, you do Mind Sync. And when you do Mind Sync, it pulls over from the inner voice that you just did what affirmations you need to read out loud that we record, and then it covers those affirmations with really pleasant music as well, that you pick the category of the type of music that you like to listen to. But this program is especially beneficial because of different ways that the brain works. You can see here that it says you can do custom affirmations, and then there's other categories of affirmations as well that can be done. And then we send you the music, the voice, the track that you pick, and you listen to your own voice with the music in the background. And this has a profound effect on the brain. And keep in mind that it comes over because of what you've already done in inner voice. So here's an example of some of the affirmations that may be picked out by your brain from the inner voice that you may need to have recorded and then listen to. So you see evening affirmations, health affirmations, I am affirmations, memory affirmations, morning, positive, prosperity. There's a few more as well. So you do the inner voice and then your brain picks out which one of these that you need to listen to and record in your own voice. And then that gets emailed to you. And what you do is you listen to your inner voice and then you listen to your mind sync. And mind sync usually is no longer than 1 to 3 minutes. And you just tag it on with the inner voice. Highly, highly effective. Why? Because there's a part of your brain that's pictured here called the reticular activation system. That reticular activation system is something that has been filtering your life your whole life. And whatever you have deemed as important, be it positive or negative, is stored there in that reticular activation system, which goes out around the brain like a webbing system. Now, that reticular activation system functions like a bouncer in a nightclub. It only lets in what you have deemed as important, and it kicks out what it doesn't feel is important. That is why sometimes people can do affirmations like, I'm prosperous, I'm healthy, I'm this, I'm that. And that bouncer, your reticular activation system, just goes, kicks it out. And so you don't get the results from the affirmations and the meditation that you want to get. Well, Mind Sync is developed to go into the brain at a hertz level that bypasses the reticular activation system and goes right to the part of the brain and says, this is important, this is crucial, this is truth, this needs to be acted on. And so then it opens your mind, tells that reticular activation system, hey, this is priority. You can't kick this one out of the nightclub. And it makes it where you start seeing all kinds of possibilities that you haven't seen before. And what the brain needs is not just affirmations, it needs action. So when you do the mind sync and you do those positive affirmations, and then you act on the affirmations that you have done, that cements in the brain that your life needs to start seeing all kinds of possibilities that have been there, but you just haven't noticed before. I always give the situation where if you've never seen a Mini Cooper, and then my son got me a Mini Cooper, it made it where once I knew that I had a Mini Cooper, that's all I saw anywhere. Now, does that mean that the Mini Coopers weren't on the road before? No. The Mini Coopers were always there, but it wasn't important to my reticular activation system for me to see them. Once I knew I had one and we were rebuilding the engine, that's all I saw because it was exciting and my reticular activation system knew this is a priority, this is important. Using the mind sync and your own affirmations that you listen to with the music you choose, and you're going to start to make your mind over. This is really exciting stuff. And it doesn't take very long to do. You call the office, we make an appointment. At most, if you do both inner voice and mind sync, we need under a half an hour. And then both programs will be emailed to you. We'll explain them a little bit more. You'll listen to them with earbuds or a headset, and you will start to get that benefit on an emotional and mental level that has such a huge impact on the health of the whole body. So give the office a call with the number down below. And then please, if you would, please like, subscribe, and share this information with friends and family members. This is very exciting and can benefit anybody in their life with their emotional state and with what they're actually seeing in their life as far as positive possibilities. And also leave a comment down below. Love to know where you're listening from. And we like to see where these podcasts are reaching. And it keeps us excited and keeps us going and bringing you the information that you need to really elevate your health to a top level.